Bread Cast, the Bread Cast. Flour and crumbs and crumbs. So much crumbs. Bread Cast, the Bread Cast. Yum, 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 yum.
All right, welcome to the Bread Cast. I'm your host, host, Joe Saunders. This is the third and final episode of our latest series, the Bread Cast Prequel Trilogy. So this is our Revenge of the Sith episode. This is our Battle of Five Armies episode. And I hope this episode doesn't end with a main character dying of a broken heart, much like Senator Padme Amidala died in ROTS. But I guess we'll find out. And in terms of Baz Luhrmann's filmography, I guess this was the equivalent of this episode was when Baz was a guest judge on the show Dancing with the Stars. But anyway, I guess let's get into it. And let me welcome my guest, Alana Johnston. Alana, hi.
Hi. What was that intro?
I'm just trying to kind of orient people on the show. And that
Absolutely.
one, I maybe don't know if I even proofread that myself before.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I loved it. As someone who refuses to follow what this series is based on these references, I can say I was intrigued. I'd seen the Star Wars movie, and now I'm going to think of it in a much breadier way.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Because this is the Bread Cast, so this is, to me, kind of the best way you can come into a podcast as a guest is with a big elaborate intro that you don't know anything about.
Well, there's a complicated mythology to the show.
Yeah, very complicated.
And I'll be referencing it a lot as we go on.
And I'll try to as well. May the force, may the flour be with you.
Oh, that's really good.
That's how you do it, right?
Yes, that was perfect. I wish I had thought of that. Okay, Alana, this is the Bread Cast. Do you like bread?
I'm a bit of an Oprah in that I love bread. I'm sure that joke's been done, and it should be to death. This is the opportunity to do it.
It's great. I love it. What kind of bread do you like?
I'm so glad you asked. It changes if there's toppings on it versus if it's plain. My favorite is definitely, I guess, a French baguette.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like super soft on the inside. That with butter, lights out.
Yes.
If it's a grilled cheese situation, sourdough.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like it changes. I even like the healthy Ezekiel bread, but I have to have it with an over easy egg because I need the yolk to moisten it up a bit. So that's what I mean. Based on the toppings, it changes. But I'm going to say French baguette if I have to say my top. What about you?
But I like sourdough. I'm very partial to sourdough. If I had to choose, sourdough is probably my top one. But I've been trying to learn a lot about a lot of different kinds of bread.
Well, I mean, it's kind of this whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Now, I wanted to ask, and maybe you already answered this, but you are from Canada.
I absolutely am.
Are there breads that you associate with Canada that you had growing up? I don't know. Is French?
Okay, so the answer is yes, but not because I'm Canadian. So my mom is Arabic from Damascus, Syria.
Oh,
so what we had was, I guess, it's pita bread, but it was different because we got it from the Arabic bakery. So it's not the same as like the pita bread. That's like the thicker one that you would find at the Ralph's. Like this was fresh. It's like softer. When we went to Syria, literally it's like in the street, they're making it like it's flying right out of the ovens and like on a little conveyor belt. And we ate it like hot and fresh. So it's not made, traditional like Arabic bread, pita bread, whatever you want to call it. We called it Arabic bread, is like thinner.
It's thinner than that?
It's supposed to be thinner for when you do like the shawarma and falafel wraps, and it's supposed to be like dipping with olive oil and za'atar. So it's supposed to be thinner, and the ones we have are really thick. So sometimes here you'll get like a falafel or shawarma, and it's a thick bread and it's too much bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not how they make it. It's thinner.
Ooh, very interesting.
Ours was always fresh because I come from such a big family. There wouldn't be a bag that you know
That
what I
stuck
mean?
around
That
for a
kind of
while.
stuck around
Yeah.
for that long, and because we'd like eat it. My mom used to also freeze it because then when it would like thaw out, that was like exactly when you wanted to get it. Because then if you bought 2 bags at the same time and we only ate one, literally like the next day it's not even as good.
Yes.
And we would toast it and warm it up as well. But I mean, like just plain room temperature, it was so soft. But you're not going to get that with an Albertsons pita bread. It's
Yeah.
just not happening. And listen, I know Albertsons is your top and only sponsor.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have to speak my truth.
Well, it's okay. I guess we're gonna. There might not be future episodes after this, so we won't need sponsors.
But yeah, here's the thing. This podcast actually isn't like Star Wars because they don't stop making those. But here there is a clear end in sight, and
Yeah.
it ends with me and the Albertsons.
Oh, okay. Good. Now, this is usually the part of the podcast where we taste the baked bread dish I've made.
Okay.
But I actually I have a new segment I want to do first.
Okay.
Now, here's how this happened. I was reading some feedback about the podcast on the internet.
Okay.
And
This is already a disaster.
Some people were complaining the podcast. I don't know if they were complaining. They were observing the podcast maybe doesn't have as much comedy as they would like in it.
I'm bored to tears.
Well, maybe you work with one of the commenters.
It was just me on a couple of dummy accounts. Wait, okay. Well, what did they say?
They, I don't know if I want to really. I went down the rabbit hole of reading any kind of comment about the show.
Okay.
And just spiraling off that. So I've decided to come up with a new segment to hopefully inject some just pure comedy, a funny game, a classic podcast game into the show that I hope will bring a smile to some faces.
I mean, for the listeners out there, I'm laughing my head off right now. So I hope you guys are with me. I can't wait to see what this classic podcast game is.
Okay, so this is, it's a little unique to the Breadcast. So this is a segment, a game I like to call the Tower of Flour. And I'm going to take a look right here. I have a plate here on the table that I've just revealed that has 3 glasses on it.
Oh my God.
Each of these glasses are labeled A, B, and C. And each of these glasses contain a flour or a flour-like substance.
What?
And the way we're going to play Tower of Flour is I'm going to ask you based on visual or texture or smell, or if you want to, you can taste, to guess what each of the flour or flour substances is. And I will give you 4 possibilities.
My friend, you got to take this to the comedy networks because we got a banger on our hands of this classic podcast game.
I think it's tough to come up with these things.
This is like Fear Factor.
This is a little Fear Factor. So maybe this is just more of kind of a thriller type game.
Yeah, I'd call this more of a spookier type game.
This is a spooky game.
Okay, so wait. Do you give the 4 options first?
Yes, I'm going to give you the 4 options first.
Okay.
So the 4 potential substances, and there's only 3 here, so one of these is not in there.
Yeah, okay, that's trick. So it's
the 4 potential substances in these 3 glasses are bread flour, almond flour, garbanzo bean flour, and cocaine.
Okay.
Now,
there's the comedy. That's what the comedy is.
Okay.
Party boy Joe Saunders here. Copy that. Is it a trick question and they're all cocaine?
They might all be the same.
Okay. Can I start sampling them and say what I'm thinking and feeling?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to...
Right now I'm feeling a lot of pressure to do drugs. Okay, I have picked up cup number B. It's very yellowy.
Okay.
It's got a bit of a smell to it.
Oh, interesting. What is it? What is the smell?
I would part of me thinks this could be the almond one. No, the almond one would be lighter. Part of me thinks this could be the bread one, or if this is a real thing, the garbanzo bean one, because of the color. It's like yellowy. So that's what would make me think it's the garbanzo bean. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I know these are not cocaine, so for sure one of these is garbanzo bean.
Okay.
And it's cup B for bean. You tell me. Okay.
Very interesting. That's
That's not my guess though. I'm doing all 3 and then I'm guessing. Okay, I have C, the tiniest cup with what I believe is the most amount of flour. So
Yeah, does that tell you anything? That maybe
that smells like flour. And you'd have a lot of it. You bake. Do you know how expensive alternative flours are?
I do. So this is the most expensive.
And
This
do you
is the
find
most
that they're a
expensive
better
segment we've ever done on the
Do
show.
you find that they're very expensive, but that you can get them for a good deal at a certain grocery store? Or
No, I just go to Albertsons.
Albertsons. Oh wow. Okay. Cup A, biggest cup, least amount. This one's white. You got a garbanzo bean,
Bread flour, cocaine, bread flour, almond flour, garbanzo bean flour.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you okay?
I'm ready.
You ready to make your guesses?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to start? Which one are you going to start with?
Cup A.
Cup A.
Bread flour.
You are correct.
Oh my god. This is a total
Cup
shot in
A
the dark.
is bread flour.
And just so you guys know, I've snorted all of these, and I am going to go ahead and rule out the cocaine.
Okay.
To my disappointment, I'm going to rule out the cocaine.
What?
B, garbanzo bean flour. I'm sticking with my B and B. And then C, almond flour. Oh, he's giving me a look, guys. And guess what? It's hilarious. Wow, this really is a funny segment.
I'm sorry to say that you are incorrect with those last two.
Really? This
Glass,
is the almond one. It's so chunky.
they were both cocaine. No, the B is almond flour, and C is garbanzo bean flour.
Okay, so now I have a funny game.
What?
It's called the flour goes where? And you have to tell me, first of all, you have to tell me, what would you cook with each one of these? Like, what would you predominantly use them? Like, would you use them all in bread?
No.
And then you have to tell me which one goes in what hole of your body. So that's the fun comedy of the where. And yes, you can say mouth for all three. I was thinking the bum.
Well, the mouth definitely is one.
Okay,
And I
safe
guess the
choice.
bum also definitely.
Ooh,
Just
tasty.
to, dry things out down there.
Yeah,
Things
me,
are
I
a
have
little
one
too
of the
moist.
wetter bums that I know of. So I really need something to absorb that.
I don't really know what you use almond flour and the other one, garbanzo bean for. We just have them in the cupboard. I think almond flour works as a gluten-free. It's a gluten-free
okay.
flour that you can use.
Alternative.
To make, yes.
But that garbanzo bean, I've never even heard of that.
I don't know where it came from. It's just in the cupboard.
You are on coke. I've decided there was a fourth cup, and then Joe did a line, and now that cup is gone, and that's why there was only 3 cups left.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know anything about cocaine. I don't even know where to get. I would have no idea where to get it. It was never going to be one of the cups.
Here's why I'm like Oprah once again. Look under your chair. You get a cocaine. You get a cocaine. You get a cocaine. I've never done cocaine. And guess what?
Me neither.
As far as I'm concerned, people do cocaine to be me. Do you know what I mean?
Why?
You're looking for that little buzz, that little spark. And from what I hear, when you do cocaine, it makes you just want to do more cocaine.
That's what people say. Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, who would want to do that? Do something, the only thing I want, once I try something, and if I want to try it again, it's bread.
Well, here's the thing. This bread cast is only making me want to do more bread cast.
Okay.
And we haven't even gotten to the bread.
Yeah. Well, Alana, thanks a lot for playing Tower of Flour. You conquered the Tower of Flour, even though you only got 1 out of 3.
Honestly, thanks for
Correctly.
having me in this revolutionary comedic bit.
Well, that's wrapped up the comedy for the show.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a very abrupt shift.
And now it's time to try the baked good.
Now for the dramedy.
This is the dramedy.
Well, can I start
Or the
off with the
tragedy.
real drama?
Yeah.
So here I am, everybody, rushing from work to get here. I don't want to be late. I'm a respectful guest. And who has the audacity to text me 20 minutes before I'm supposed to be here, in which I'm already on my way, saying, "Hey, Alana, is this still your number? Running a little behind. Can we push to 6:30? Half an hour?" You have got to be kidding me. I wrote back with a firm no because I have somewhere else to be because I have a bread-based life outside of this podcast, okay? I have another breadcast to get to. It's called Baguette Me Yes. It's all about
Baguette
saying
Me Yes?
Yes, it's all about saying yes to baguette.
Oh, I see.
But anyway, so that's my
Baguette Me
drama. That's my drama leading into this is that you already tried to kick me off of the Breadcast. I wasn't even on yet. Then you dropped this bomb of a hilarious bit on me. I'm put on the spot to be Miss Joe Funny. And let me tell you, I didn't come with any prepared flour material.
You don't have to. Okay. All right. Look, we did have a little bit of a kitchen mishap in the minutes before the Breadcast.
Okay, so
here.
this I want to, because I haven't heard you didn't tell me anything when I walked in.
Right, and so we were all setting up for the record out here. I was doing a little last minute baking in there. We had some mix-ups. I started to have a meltdown. I texted you to ask if we could just maybe wait 30 minutes. I could patch things up.
I absolutely said no.
You said no.
And I literally wrote back right away saying no.
Yeah, it was nice of you to write back right away.
Yeah.
And so I just pushed on through. And
you look a little nervous.
I do look a little nervous.
Can we get a zoom in on the photo of the nervous, please?
I really thought I was ahead of schedule with this episode of the Breadcast in terms of giving myself plenty of time to make.
I mean, yeah, we booked this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You had 2 weeks to make this bread.
I spent 24 hours just working on Tower of Flour. So
I'm sure the cocaine joke took quite some time to toss that in there.
I mean, I just hope the fans like that.
I tell you what, if the fans don't find this funny, they can get fucked because this is hilarious. Oh, by the way, do you guys swear on this, or am I gonna get bleeped out?
I'll bleep half of the curses, not all of them.
Yeah, just one half, so people have to kind of guess what the rest of it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited. Do you always have this like butter and honey and knife display?
Sometimes
It's
usually appropriate for the item we're gonna try.
A little threatening, but.
Well,
because just so everyone knows, the knife is facing me, and yes, I have the podcast persona of the knife, but this is just a direct threat at this point.
Well, I don't want to.
It's almost like you're telling me don't become the knife, because otherwise I'm going to literally get knifed.
I was very concerned you were going to become the knife at some point on the show. But
you know what?
That's
Listen, new bread, new persona, and for this one, we're gonna call me Joe Funny, Mrs. Joe Funny, Mrs. Joe Comedy here.
All right, well let's try the baked dish. So for this one, I made something I've never made before. This is actually, we've done a few episodes where I've done a dish kind of more related to I grew up in the South, so it related to my Southern cultural heritage, and this is one of those. And this is probably the one that's the closest to my Southern family heritage. For this episode, I made... Oh, wait, there's two reveals.
He revealed... Wait, hold on. Don't pull it back yet. Just to let you guys know how anticlimactic. This should be the comedic part of the podcast. He makes a huge ado, reaches his hand, pulls back a towel which has been covering the dish, and it's covered in foil. So it's like he's literally shown me garbage. It's like that was the worst reveal I've ever seen in my life.
I thought I'd taken the foil off under the thing.
I love this podcast. What are the fans talking about? This podcast is a riot. I'm having a great time.
Okay.
All now right. For the second reveal.
The second reveal. There's going to be another piece of... I made cornbread.
Oh my God. When you said South, I was hoping it was cornbread, but I was like, maybe that's one of the ones he's already done. Cornbread is not a thing in Canada.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, I mean, like you can get it at some restaurants, but it's not like here where it's like often a side is cornbread. But like, I love cornbread, but I'm new to it. Like I'm very new to, I didn't even have it really when I was in Chicago. I'm very new to cornbread from when I moved here and made friends that like were from the South and they'd have it at like Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm very new to cornbread and I'm a big fan.
Well, I love cornbread. I grew up having a lot of cornbread, but I've never made it before. I got this recipe from my dad.
Oh, wow.
Sent it to me.
Oh, my God. Family recipe.
I don't know where. I guess it's a family recipe. I don't know. I just asked him for it, and he typed it out he just typed out like 5 sentences in an email and sent it to me.
Is your dad an avid listener of the podcast?
No.
Super.
So yeah, very. But yeah, and it's actually in a cast iron. I made it in a cast iron skillet. We're looking at a small cast iron skillet. It's about 8 inches. And so far, it looks pretty good. It's kind of a nice brown color. I guess let's cut into it and try it.
Now, wait.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to make it in a cast iron? Like, is that
I think
how
you
it
can
was?
make.
Like, is that how your family made it?
That was in the instructions to how to make it. To
oh,
use
wow.
a cast
So that's
iron
part
skillet.
of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
But I did a little bit of research just to see what the other recipes were online, and other people made them in all kinds of any other kind of baking pan.
Did you check the website notmydadsrecipe.com?
I did
to
check.
see what they had to say.
I did check it, and they had all their options were all over the place. But let's cut into this.
Let's do
and I'm going
this.
to use the big knife to do this. And here we go.
Okay. He's cutting in. Whoa, smooth cut so far. You know, like when you guys cut up a pie or something and you poke the knife in and then you like pull it back and it immediately crumbles? This is smooth sailing. I can tell you guys that much. Bit of trouble getting it out. I'm a little concerned. He's got his grubby little hands all over this thing. Oh, am I not supposed to describe what you're doing?
It's very good if you describe this. All right, can I give you this one?
Yes. If this tastes like hands, just we'll know where it came from.
You can have another one.
No, absolutely not. He's kissing the bread now. I don't know why. Maybe I should have listened to more episodes to get a grasp on what I've gotten myself into.
Okay, now it's all good and kissed.
Okay.
Let's
yellow.
talk about how it looks. It's got a nice yellow.
So brown on the top, but a light, not like a crazy dark brown, like a toasty light brown, which I feel like is what it's supposed to look like. Indicates a bit of crisp on the outside.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure when I first pulled this out of the oven. I was like, ooh, did I burn it? Did I burn it a little bit?
Well, I'm not done my review. So
Okay.
the inside looks perfectly yellow. And then I look to the bottom and I think, has he taken a black Sharpie and outlined the bottom of the cornbread on account of the dark tone that I'm seeing? I haven't bitten into it yet. I don't know the texture, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions and say it's burned. But I am going to say it's suspicious.
That's a good observation. It does look black Sharpie colored in at the bottom.
Yeah. Let me turn mine over.
It's very toasted on the bottom.
It's not quite black Sharpie. It's a brown Sharpie, though. This I can guarantee. This is a Bread Cast guarantee from old Joe Funny over here. Okay, how does it go now? Can I eat it?
You can eat it, and let me just talk. I'll talk a little bit about like what all went into making it.
Perfect.
So yeah, feel free to chow down over there. So this is super simple over there. Oh yeah, I've also got some earth balance.
I'm gonna do the butter.
You can do a little butter and you want, or a little honey if you want to. Now you're not vegetarian, right?
Oh no, God no.
Okay, because this
I'm assuming this is beef.
Well, this has bacon fat. This has bacon grease in it. It has a lot.
Whoa.
This is not healthy at all. This has a lot of bacon grease in it. So basically the ingredients into this are bacon grease, cornmeal, buttermilk, egg, baking soda, and salt. And that's it.
Okay, what's cornmeal?
Cornmeal, I think, is just like
Mashed up corn?
I think basically, yeah.
Okay.
It's a powdery flour substance. Maybe it'll be in the Tower of Flour one day.
If we can be so lucky. If only.
So to get all this bacon grease, I had to make bacon in this pan in the same cast iron skillet.
God. Hence probably the disaster when I was coming because you had more to do than a regular bread.
Yeah. So I had to make bacon in it. Made a bunch of bacon. Ate it.
Yeah. Wait. Where's all this bacon?
The bacon is gone.
Wow.
But then I used the grease I left in there, and then stuck that in the oven. Made this mixture of all this. Poured the mixture in, and then you cook it for just about 25 minutes at 450 degrees. Pretty hot. And then it comes out like this.
Very interesting. And I'm going to say, first of all, literally fascinating. Second of all, I wouldn't have guessed the bacon grease part of it, but it tastes saltier, like more savory than any other cornbread I've had, and it's got to be the bacon. Like there's no doubt in my mind that it is that bacon, because I find, at least, and I know cornbreads are all made differently, but I find cornbread usually has a bit of a sweet taste to it, but this one's like savory, and the only thing that sounded different from what you said is that bacon grease.
Yeah. Well, a lot of recipes for cornbread say to put sugar in them.
Oh, okay.
And my dad said he would kill me if I put sugar.
Well, he doesn't listen. Who cares?
He doesn't listen.
He'll never tune into this cast.
He said you don't put sugar in cornbread. So I think that is like a Georgia, Alabama thing. I don't know.
I'll say this. I wish, and this isn't a slight on you for rudely eating all the bacon, but this would pair perfectly with meat. Like a chicken or like whatever it comes on a side with, like, because that's my problem is whenever I go to like these Thanksgivings or stuff like that and there is this cornbread, I keep it on a separate plate because it is sweeter, and I don't like to mix that like with savory. Like I'm not really a chicken and waffles person. Like give me the chicken and then give me the waffles. But this I would absolutely love to eat with meat or like dip in whatever those juices are and stuff.
Yeah,
but I've never had it like this.
I associate this with like Thanksgiving there, where there's like turkey and gravy.
Exactly,
and then you got a big thing of this big meaty cornbread.
Yeah,
right there. So.
Yeah, wow. Honestly, I'm very impressed, and I'm gonna say this. The bottom is not burnt, even though it was quite highly suspicious. Mm-hmm. It's not burnt. It's got a crisp to it, but because of the bacon grease, it's got flavor. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't taste like if you guys can't see the pan, but I mean you're getting photos of it. It's not stuck on the bottom. It like completely came out perfectly on the bottom, so it's not burnt at all. But it's like it's because of the grease that it's darker, but it's got flavor. Yeah. It's really good.
Oh, good.
Ooh, and I had it with the butter, and it was not that it needs it. I was put the butter on as before you had said the bacon part. But anyways, thank God I'm naturally dangerously thin. But it was like with the butter, like that little bit of like that moisture in there. It was great. I'm gonna say something else. Oh. Not as spongy as other cornbreads I've had. What is that? What's the, like, do you know what I mean? Like, is there a difference, or did you put in more of something, or do you not know?
I wonder if that's the buttermilk. Because some of the other recipes I looked at were just plain regular milk.
Oh, buttermilk's heavy.
And buttermilk's super heavy. Yeah, super heavy.
I grew up drinking buttermilk. I loved that stuff.
Like just drinking it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot. Like I'd have little, but it was like so delicious. So my dad would let me have like little sips of it, and I like loved that stuff. It was so good.
It's so good to put in recipes.
And plain in your mouth if you're me and my dad. You should check out my podcast, Dad Cast. Check it out, and it's stuff my dad and I do. Well, edit that out.
Yeah, I would guess that if you just use regular milk, it'd be a lot fluffier.
Yeah, because I think the bacon is what is making it more savory and really affected the bottom. But that texture, like that's got to be that buttermilk. Yeah. For sure it has to, right?
I would think so.
Because you said you left that bacon grease on the bottom. So how would it, I don't see it rising up
yeah,
that crazy.
It was at the bottom, and then I poured in the mixture, and then I kind of like stirred it around a little bit. I was like, oh, let's see if I can get the
You snake in the grass. Tried, listen to this.
I just was like, let's see if I can get a little bit of distribution of this.
Dropping the bomb on me. Well, listen, what do I give reviews, or do I just take the rest of it home? How does this work?
I'm trying to think if there's any.
Well, goodbye. Alana Johnston signing off.
We review it and we just come up with a new rating system every week.
I love that.
So, okay, yeah, you need to take, you got so excited you're now having to take a sip of water to,
This is like one of those ASMR podcasts, right?
Yes. I think that is mostly, people aren't listening for the comedy, but they are listening for the chewing sounds and,
You just have the wrong people reviewing. Mm-hmm. You got to get that ASMR crowd in there. Okay. So I get to come up with the rating system?
Yeah, please.
Oh my God.
And we can be anything.
So, cornbread, it's your first time making it. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the thing that you did different from the other cornbreads is using bacon fat. So, how many fats?
Wow, how many
is the rating system?
That's good. How many fats?
How many fats? Not to be confused with the health fat of like the health content. It's how many fats in terms of deliciousness.
So what should this be on a scale of 0 to what? 10, 0 to 100?
I'm gonna say 0 to 7 fats.
Wow.
Because if something has more than 7 grams of fat, you're in a bit of trouble in a serving.
I never even.
And this isn't health based.
Okay.
But it's like, this is just me using of like fat. Like if I, there's like natural and healthy fats, but it's like, if I grabbed a piece of bread and it said 7 grams of fat, you got to wonder what's going on in there.
For real.
This bad boy has that for sure.
Oh, I don't even want to know how many calories are in just a single slice.
I do, and so do the fans that are reviewing this podcast. The fans want the calorie breakdown. Let's say 0 to 7 fats.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I love it.
Okay, and you can do half fats.
So
in
7
case like low fats too.
Oh, are those different?
Yeah, like you can be like 5 low fats.
That's it. Okay. They're non-fats?
You can do non-fat, you can do low fat, and then you can do fat.
I love it. Well, it makes perfect sense to me.
You asked for the comedy, Mr. Tower of Flour.
I'm pretty sure I'm just going to edit out Tower of Flour from the final episode.
Why? I plan on saying it like 10 more times.
I'll just bleep it then, and people.
Yeah, but half bleep it, because that's how you guys do things here, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So, what would you give this in terms of fats on a scale of 0 to 7 fats?
Okay. Because I came up with a system, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me, obviously, to kind of lead the way in terms of the voting.
I don't want to put any pressure on you. Just
I'll
whatever.
take it.
Okay.
Because I can rise to the occasion. So, there's a couple different factors going into my score here.
Okay.
So I am giving it 5 fats and half a low fat.
5 fats.
5 out of 7 fats, half a low fat. So it's 5.5, but 1/2 is a low fat.
Is a low fat, and that's out of 7.
Yeah.
That's a high. I'd say that's a high rating.
It's a very high rating. And
Wow.
here's why. But here's what's going into it. Effort.
Oh.
You dragged your dad into this.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk to you.
He definitely. Yeah, that's for sure.
You broached a touchy subject with your dad in order to get the recipe. Okay, that's maximum effort. You made full bacon, all right, which you then consumed on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got half a low fat, because you ate all that bacon yourself. And if I had half of it, it would have been low fat, because you ate all of it. That's high fat.
I don't understand that at all.
Do you understand? First of all, to the listeners out there, tweet at me, Alana_Johnston, if you get what I'm talking about. # low fat, okay? So tweet at me. Let me know that you understand my low fat and a half system, because he ate all the bacon.
Yes.
Okay. The other thing that goes into it, taste. I enjoyed the taste.
Okay.
I never tasted a cornbread like this. That's tough to make, a cornbread that tastes different from other cornbreads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, significantly different.
It is, when I was sitting down to make this, I was like, oh, this will be just.
Well, your first problem was you shouldn't have sat down.
Yeah, well,
when you're cooking, you got to stand. That's where you went wrong.
Oh, this is probably my issue, because I go and I sit for a long time and I think.
And I try to push back the guest so I can have a sit.
I was imagining this when I don't know if I had had this specific kind of cornbread in several years. So
Right.
I had kind of it had kind of faded in my memory exactly what it was going to taste like. So I think it was going to, I thought I was going to be preparing kind of the cornbread you get we live in Los Angeles, that you would get if you went to, say, a barbecue restaurant here or something like that. And so, but then tasting this, I'm like, oh, this is what I had.
Yes.
This is why I was like a sphere of a child.
Well, you only lost a fat and a half because of the terrible reveal. I think you lost 1.1 fat when you pulled off the cloth and there was a foil, and then you lost a half fat because it took you a bit to get the foil off once the foil had been revealed. It was kind of a little clunky, I'm not gonna lie. And the listeners out there can't know this, but I just want them to know where that other fat and a half went.
5 1/2 low fat. Dave, how are you liking it over there? You seem to be doing okay.
Loving it.
You got to see
Okay.
this guy. He's drowning in cornbread.
David is pouring he has a honey container upside down over the cornbread.
Yeah, you went for the honey.
Yeah, I like the honey because honey's not too sweet.
And
You know what I
butter.
mean?
Holy crap.
Like a good honey is not too sweet because that's what I really liked about. I have to agree with Alana on this. Like the best part about this cornbread is it's not too sweet.
Love that.
You know, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say
Also, guys, tweet at me, Alana_Johnston, to answer this important question. # should honey be sweet? I'm just curious because you said it's not too sweet, and in my mind, I'm thinking honey's crazy sweet. So I'm just looking for some answers. If people could just tweet at me and let me know.
I'm very curious because I think it's sweet, but I think there's like processed honey that's sweeter than it's like.
And we're gonna get to the bottom of it on our new podcast called Honeycast. Join us, won't you?
to be fair, that is Albertson's brand honey right there. So it could be
Wow,
a little
okay.
bit not the real thing.
That's Albertson's for you. His words, not mine. All right,
I'm
let's hear the facts.
going to give this 6 fats.
Bold.
Because it really I had kind of a ratatouille type moment when I bit into this.
There was a rat. Yeah.
There was a rat.
Yeah, first his grubby hands on here. Now I find out a rat's grubby hands were on him. Ay, ay, ay.
Okay. But I flashed back to my childhood and I was like, this was the thing that we used to have a lot. And being able to make it myself and, do that for the first time, I thought was that was what I wanted to happen. So
Has this
6.
repaired your relationship with your dad?
no,
that I decided was broken.
it's I think worse than ever after this. So I'm going to give this 6, but I will deduct 1/4 fat for the botched reveal. 1/4 low fat for the botched reveal.
Yeah, because it's low fat because it's not that big of a deal,
Right.
but it's something.
It's significant. So I guess I'm going to give this 6 3/4 fats. Or 6.
Wow.
I don't know how that works out.
No, it's 6 3/4 fats because you deducted. No. It's 5 3/4 fat because you deducted a quarter.
Right. From
of
6.
low fat from 6.
Yeah, 5 3/4 fats out of.
This might be
Seven
your
fats.
best rating system yet. And you
definitely-
might want to use this in the future.
It makes
Ditch
so
that
much
Star
sense.
Wars thing, whatever that was, and ride with the fats.
Well, great. Well, we tried the bread. We did
We did. We breadcasted.
Wow. Well, awesome. So, okay, we've tried it. Now, this is actually the part of the podcast where avid listeners will know that this is the part of the show where I reveal that I've actually made a second baked good.
No.
That
Wait, really?
We're going to try. And in the previous 2 episodes,
I don't see any foil.
I revealed that the new segment was called Surprise Pies. And I baked 2 dessert pies. I baked a key lime pie and I baked a strawberry pie. Unfortunately, I just have to announce that there is no dessert pie this episode.
well, that's
so I'm
huge
sorry to
letdown.
say.
Wow, if you guys could have seen my face at the thought of eating those, I was elated, let me tell you. Okay, so what's the reveal?
So the reveal is that Surprise Pies, though, is still going on. And instead of making a dessert pie, I made a pizza pie for this episode.
Oh my god!
Surprise pies! Yum, 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 yum.
I love that! Oh my god, we're sticking with the savory theme.
But there's a little bit of a wrinkle to this.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, back up. Once again, Joe has done a god-awful reveal. He gets up, he goes, I made a pizza pie. You guys heard me, I freak out. He gets up, walks to his kitchen door, turns around, and comes back to drop another bomb. Like, you're so bad at reveals. I'm sorry, Joe. I think you're a very talented man, but like, I just, in what world do you think these reveals are okay?
I'm very rattled right now because actually the mix-up that happened with you before you were coming over here was with the surprise pie, was with the pizza.
I wondered because this cornbread turned out great.
The cornbread turned out very good. I was kind of playing along and leading you astray on
You
that.
absolutely were. I thought it was the Sharpie part that you were worried about.
So I made a pizza. I actually and the pizza was a disaster. Let me bring it out, and we'll take a look at it.
Oh my God, this just keeps getting better. I love it. I love it.
So,
Okay, it's guys, Joe's trying to redeem himself with a second reveal, as always, by hiding a plate under the table right now, which I'm sure his grubby little hands are all over, as always.
so I bought a pizza peel.
What's that?
A pizza peel is like a big paddle, like when you see people at pizza restaurants.
like the wood
the
stove.
wooden things.
Yeah.
I bought one of those off Amazon.com, and I was going to use it because I also have a breadstone, and I was going to use it to make a pizza, and that was my big thing. But what happened was the pizza got stuck to the pizza peel, and I couldn't get it off, so I had to scrape it off into the oven. And it came out like this.
Oh my God, that looks like intestines! Oh no!
This is what happened.
Bad.
This went in, and I texted you right after this happened, and I said, "Can we get 30 minutes to maybe do something?"
I absolutely said no.
You
Instantly.
absolutely said no.
Not really. You said but in my defense,
Yeah.
you said we're running behind. I thought that meant like equipment or you getting here for the setup.
No.
And then when I was like, I can't, which is truthful, I can't. I'm so sorry, because otherwise I'm a flexible woman, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
But as we know from my stretching, everybody knows that about me. Alana the Stretch Johnston, tweet at me, Alana_Johnston, hashtag too stretchy.
You want them to tweet at you too stretchy?
Yeah, this is how I think Twitter works. People tweet insults at you that you've suggested.
So it's a big
okay.
mess right now. It's a big pile of dough and cheese.
Oh, but I want in.
Well, there's more.
Oh,
so when you said you absolutely refused to delay coming in,
Yes, I did. I refused.
and I was in a corner. I didn't know what to do. I was like, can I serve this as the surprise pies this episode, this math? And I got tunnel vision, and I had another piece of dough, and then I quickly shaped it and made a second pizza.
No! Oh my God. Really? Guys, this one might be a good reveal. If he comes out with like a duvet cover on this, maybe not, but oh my God. You guys, it was a perfect reveal, and he has his Amazon flat spatula giant thing, and the pizza looks fantastic.
It looks okay.
For the time constraint you had, come on. And also get the side by side. You'll see what I mean when I said it looks fantastic. You got to see this comparison.
This was, I just had to throw this together really quickly. Luckily, these are margarita pizzas, so very simple: mozzarella, tomato sauce, basil. And so I made this, and so hopefully this is a little bit more edible. But we can try both, or we could try.
Let's try the good one first.
Okay.
And see where we're at.
It came out. I got it in there.
I think it came out great.
Luckily, the oven was already super hot. It was going at 475 degrees. I'm going to get up and cut into it.
You cut it up. I'll describe what I'm looking at here. So, have you guys ever had diarrhea? Welcome to pizza number one. What I like to call the pizza delay, because that's what caused you trying to delay this podcast. Now, have you guys ever seen a beautiful pizza with a nice, fluffy dough, but like it's not burnt, so you know it's going to be soft and come out like a soft bread? Welcome to what pizza number two is, what I like to call the think tank, because he had to buckle down, he had to focus, he had to use his brains and cooking intelligence to pull this off, and in a matter of minutes, I'm going to let you guys know if he did. Are we ready?
I think we're ready to try it. I've cut the pizza. The pizza's very small. It's only about like...
I'm going to make sure I get a basil piece.
Yeah, please get a basil piece. Yeah.
One of the pieces doesn't have basil on it. That is going to cost you. That's about a half a fat right there, if I'm being honest with you.
I think the basil, as I was using the pizza peel, which is a giant spatula that's about 18 inches in diameter, to slide the pizza into the oven, I think some of the basil fell over. I tried to evenly distribute it.
Joe, I got to be honest with you. Against all odds, this is surprisingly undercooked.
Yeah.
A lot of people said there's no way he can fuck up a second pizza, and guess what? He did. What do you think?
Me?
Both.
Wow. Well, here's the thing.
Joey.
Well, the real issue was that because I had 2 pieces of dough, and one had been, you're supposed to let the dough, I let it rise in the refrigerator. After I made the dough last night.
You made the dough by hand?
So that was the bread cast baking aspect, was trying to make the dough.
I see. That makes me like it more.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks.
No, the taste of the dough is good. It's the bake I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But like the dough itself is good.
Well, I let it rise in the fridge overnight, and then once you take it out of the fridge, you're supposed to just let it sit for 40 minutes to an hour to get room temperature, and then you shape it and put the stuff on it and bake it. And I'd done that with the first one that turned out a disaster. But then when
it looks like, again, diarrhea. It's the diarrhea-za.
The diarrhea-za was that. But then, I just had to move quickly, so I used the cold dough from the fridge.
Oh, so it didn't get to sit.
It didn't get to sit. It was pretty cold. I got it shape. It did shape. I was able to kind of get it into a pizza shape, but I bet that is
the shape of it,
effect.
And it looked good. The shape of it, other than that 1/4 piece without the basil, which will cost you the half fat. But
wow,
the shape of it looked good. And that's why I said I was shocked as to how undercooked it was.
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy undercooked, but you have to understand, I just came from a cornbread that was like perfectly cooked. Even to the point where I was fooled into thinking it was burnt, and then meanwhile it was like a flavor burst at the bottom. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
The pizza's holding together. It's not falling apart. Ooh, pardon me. Oh my God. Pizza burp. Excuse me. It's definitely like... it's holding together. None of the sauce is falling off. It's not gooey, but it's not. There's like almost no crisp to it.
Yes, it should have definitely stayed in there longer. I was trying to. It only baked for about 8 minutes, I think.
Oh, that's not long.
Yeah,
And then
maybe 7 minutes.
I stormed in and demanded to be recorded and went on the record.
Yeah, and so I had to take it out.
Which is funny because I made you record for half an hour, just me talking about my day before we started this. So I guess I feel really bad about not letting you push the podcast.
It's okay. This is what the Bread Cast is all about.
It's about a wild adventure, and a funny one too, might I add, to the listeners out there. Wow, this is crazy.
I want to try the bad one.
This one?
Oh my God. The diarrhea?
You want to try the diarrhea one?
I think you just have to like pull a piece. Like he just has to pull it.
Yeah.
It's like it's wrapped. It's literally 2 girls, 1 za. Like it's kind of like comes out like a soft serve. But here's the thing. I bet you it's good. I need someone else to try it first.
It looks like it came out of the Pillsbury tube.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
it does
such
look
a
like
good
it was
point,
squeezed out of
yes.
it. It does look like it was squeezed out of a tube. I'm gonna pull
This
up.
thing's looking a lot like my period, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my period's just diarrhea out of my vagina. Cheesy, saucy. I'm letting the boys taste it first, and I'm looking for facial reactions.
I think it's about the same taste as the other one. Dave, what do you think?
Oh, it's worse.
Oh, it's worse. Ah!
Well, it was all piled up, so it definitely wasn't able to bake.
There's a part of it that felt like I was just eating dough.
Okay, I'm gonna try this one piece here that's just bread.
The bottom,
looks-
Oh,
part-
this is not cooked. No, absolutely. This is
bottom.
mush. Yeah, this is mush. Let's see here. I hope I don't die of poisoning. At this point, I'm eating eggs. I don't even know what this is. Honestly, take your cocaine flour cups and pour them in. Do yourself a favor, my man. You got to get something else in here because this is straight eggs. You should be calling this egg cast.
I tried to take a big swing.
But you didn't even have a bat.
I didn't have a bat. I was out there throwing my glove around. I had my glove on,
You're
swinging
throwing
at
your
a
glove at the ball.
on the ball, trying to hit it. I briefly thought I'd hit it, and wow.
You're getting 100% effort out of me on this. Come on, you made 2 pizzas. Both stink, but you made 2. Oh my God.
Really, I would go over what the ingredients are for this pizza. But
Slop.
Slop.
Egg, for egg
mixture.
we know.
This was just to tell you where
Molasses.
I think the recipe of this I got this recipe off of the New York Times cooking section. And they specifically said that this margarita pizza is the recipe from Roberta's Pizzeria in Brooklyn, New York, which I guess is a notable place.
So you got the list of ingredients from there, but
And then
did they list oven?
They didn't list
You just mixed the ingredients in a bowl and waited for me to show up.
This was a real wild one.
Did I give you the business?
You gave me the business.
Have I dragged you? Have I dragged Bread Cast through the mud? What's his name? Darth Vader?
Just like how Darth Vader at the end of these movies, Dracula. Well, wow, this is kind of like Revenge of the Sith. It ends on kind of a downer note for this prequel trilogy.
Is that the one that goes, I killed Padme? No!
Yes.
Honestly, I can't believe I did it. I said I was going to talk Star Wars, and I did it.
You did it. It's incredible.
Hashtag she knows.
She knows.
Tweeted me. Alana _Johnston. Wow, I can't wait to see.
She knows. Too stretchy.
The haters and the lovers that tweeted me.
Well, let's at least give this a fat rating.
Okay, so let's still do 7 fats.
Right.
Okay.
0 to 7.
Joe, we've been friends for a long time, and you're a good man. But a pie man? I don't think so. I'm giving you 2 fats.
2 fats.
And both of them are for effort.
Okay.
Here's where you lost 5 fats. Fake out reveal. Again. So you knew you lost the fat the first time. You did it again. 2, trying to waste my time by trying to push me back for your mistakes.
I'm being punished for that in the rating?
There's no question about it. There's no fat about it, my friend. Okay.
Also, we didn't even put, you said
3.
you put it. I said, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
3. Yeah, and you figured it out by trying to poison me with your weird eggs. 3. Presentation. As we know, one of the fourths did not have equal amounts of basil on it.
Wow, that's incredible that one came back.
Absolutely, it's coming back. 4. I'm going to go ahead and say, because it's triggering, the diarrhea. And people don't like diarrhea. They don't want their za to reflect diarrhea. So I'm going to say this is one of the more triggering meals I've had. And finally, 5, confidence and the lack thereof. Joe, a true salesman, would have come in here and said, this is the most unique pizza you're ever going to have. You say oven, I say think bigger, my friend. Think outside the oven. And you could have wooed me into loving this pizza.
So I didn't sell this pizza.
No, but in your cooking, you made the effort to make the first one, which flopped. And then your second fat was the effort in making the second one, which didn't flop as much, but enough. What's your score?
I think 2 more minutes in the oven makes a huge difference.
I couldn't agree more. If it had been 10 minutes,
Wow.
I really think the whole pizza would have changed the game.
Yeah.
But I showed up right at 6.
You were right on time.
Right on time,
Man.
baby.
But that's, wow. I'm going to give this, I think I'm going to give this 3 fats. Which is more fats than you gave.
One more fat than mine. I want to know why you gave 3 fats. Because from the baker's perspective.
2 fats for, just pushing through, getting it done, getting something on the plate. On Top Chef and Chopped, they're like, get it on the plate. Chopped, they're all about getting it on the plate on that show. So the judges know it. So I got it on the plate.
Yeah, you did.
And 1, I don't think it's that bad.
Joe, you've always been one of the soggier men I know. It makes sense you want a sopping wet pizza.
I kind of think pizza should be more like this, and maybe
now
this
there's the confidence.
This, why aren't more pizzas like kind of come in a bowl?
My friend, you just got yourself half a low fat out of me.
Unbelievable!
Congratulations!
Wow, 2 fats and half a low fat.
Yep.
And I gave it 3 fats, 0 low fats.
Yeah, this is a fatty pizza.
Wow, what a roller coaster!
Honestly, couple of ups, a lot of downs I noticed once we hit that pie, the old pie challenge here. But I loved the surprise of it. Unfortunately, you ruined the reveal because the surprise of there being the pizza pies was fantastic. But again, the reveal just tarnished.
Yeah. I was very rattled off this whole pizza thing. Really threw me off. I was really counting on being able to nail this right before you got here. And Wow, Dave just whistled.
Yeah, a very kind of like one of those whistles that goes into a bomb when it hits the bottom. You know what I mean? An atomic whistle.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for the Breadcast, this episode of the Breadcast, and for the Breadcast Prequel Trilogy. Alana, thanks for being here. Is there anywhere... Well, you already said your Twitter handle a few times.
I
but
said
you
it
wanna
a
say
couple of times, Alana_Johnston. And I'm actually starting a podcast in
Okay.
which I'd love to have a Breadcast guest on there.
Wow.
And it's called Self-Esteem Party. And it should be coming out in July.
Oh, very cool.
And it's all about believing in yourself and believing in your body. And let's just say this one's gonna be a laugh riot right from the jump. We have Tower of Power, and it's about empowering yourself through little
You
jars.
haven't... Oh, no. I guess if you like the Tower of Flower and you want us to do more of it, if there are ever any more future episodes of the Breadcast, you can tweet at us with the more power hashtag more power to the tower.
Oh, I love that. You'll be getting a tweet out of me.
Yeah, and if you don't like the Tower of Flower, you can say hashtag the tower is sour.
And go ahead and subtweet me in that one as well.
Subtweet you. Don't tag you, but still
Subtweet
reference you
me.
somehow. Well, great. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, this has been the Breadcast. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Breadcast for photos and links to the recipes. Our audio engineers are Mark David Christensen and Emma Erdbrink. Our music is written and performed by Danny Cohen, and I'm your host, Joe Saunders. Thanks for listening.
Bread you later.
Bread you later.
The Breadcast. Yum, 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 yum.